Hello again. In this video I'd like to talk to you about what our business model is and why we're investing in notes today more than in property. So the key question today is, which is easier to find today, property or notes? Well, I'd like to share with you some very telling statistics. Now you remember just a few years ago, this is being shot in 2013, even as recently as 2010, there were courthouse steps with REOs available for investors to buy at pretty good prices. In fact, just a few years ago, there were probably about 10 million REOs available. Well, that has shifted. That now is 1 million. The reason for that is that the banks have really had the screws put on them by the government, and they can't foreclose as easily as they could in the past. Here in California, there's now the Consumer Finance Protection Act, which virtually makes California a judicial state. So borrowers can now go to courts and complain, and they can hold up that foreclosure, and so it's really difficult now for the banks to foreclose. So as a result, there are many more short sales than there were before, and even those laws have gotten really tightened up too. So those two avenues are difficult for banks. And so they really now are encouraged to sell the note. So today, there are about 10 million notes available for sale. Now these come through FHA, originally through HUD, and they're available for you to buy. So when I build a business model, I like to look at where the greatest supply is of an asset at investor prices. I'm not interested in them unless they're investor prices. I'm a value hound, right? And you should be too. Well, is it possible right now, with the supply of REOs squeezed down, to build a business model with 1 million REOs available? And then the private sellers saying, oh, look, I can charge what I want. Name me a price, right? Private sellers now of property are getting spoiled unless there's some kind of difficult situation. If they're just listing it in the MLS, oh my gosh, they're just expecting very, very high prices for their properties. Well, you can't build a business model on that. And so what I propose to you is the supply of notes is so high right now to shift your business, if you haven't already, over to notes as much as you can. And then it's possible for you to scale it, because that's what we are all about. I mean, this is not a hobby. We don't wake up every day and just have, fun with notes. Of course it's fun, but we have to make money, and we have to be able to scale it. And so with 10 million notes available, you can do that. So if the supply chain is really, really generous to you with notes, and because of that you can scale it, well, you can build more profit. You see, people that are trying to buy property right now, just pounding away at this in just the typical ways, they're not able to scale, and their profits are getting cut back. If you talk to investors at every level of property investment right now, unless there's some kind of distress with the property that they can then fix, unless it's that scenario, their profits are really getting squeezed down. Unless a person has a great marketing plan and they're like the #1 investor in their area, very well known, unless they're that and they have a lot of other things involved, their profits are getting really, really squeezed down right now. So I like to go with the easier way, to tell you the truth. Yes, I work hard, but I don't want to beat my head against a wall. I'm just saying, if I have 10 million notes available to me to buy, this incredible supply, why wouldn't I seize that opportunity so I can scale it and I can make better profits? And I propose the same for you too.